Okay, now is later. This is later, officially, I suppose, if there was a time called later. And here's what it is. That when you think about people like James Randi and stuff like that, I mean, there's that protecting us from the bad people and all that stuff. But then there's another part, too. You know, when people try to protect you, watch out for you, the one thing is that there's this one thing that we don't think about. And that is, instead of teaching people to think for themselves, I always thought that was a much better thing to do. You know, to teach people to think for themselves, to make up their own minds, and to make their own choices, and to make a choice freely. Now, look, here's the deal. If you were fully informed about, let's say, somebody like John of God, or Uri Geller, or whatever, and you choose to believe that stuff, fine. But it's a free choice. You know, the fact that you may make a choice that I don't agree with, it's a different story. You know, you don't agree with my choice. I don't agree with your choice. But you have a right to do that if that's what you want. You know, I believe in this thing that Joseph Campbell talks about, following your bliss. And maybe for some people, their bliss is to follow John of God. I don't like John of God. I think I think he's a charlatan. I think he's full of shit, you know. Maybe that's a strong way of putting it, but, you know, but people have a right to make decisions, even if they're bad ones, even if they're choices I don't agree with, even if they're choices I think are kind of, you know, bullshit. And people do make choices like that, but you cannot protect people from themselves. People have to make their own decision, you know. Because the one thing I don't want is people to feel that they have to, you know, have some kind of authority where they can intrude on my life and decide what I should or should not believe. Yeah, you know, I mean, I think my beliefs are legitimate. I think they're good beliefs. But you know what? I think that if I want my rights to believe to be respected, I also have to respect other people's rights to believe as they see fit to believe. As long as they are not hurting me. You know, I mean, you have to make laws and rules to protect society, and there are people out there who should be protecting society. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. However, there is also intrusion and people being judgmental and deciding that they have to stop you. Because I had somebody who was doing me that way, who felt like I was a charlatan or something. You know, and they felt like they had to intrude and fix things and protect the world from me. And that was bullshit itself. The debunker was full of shit. He was motivated primarily by his own ego and his own power to show that I was wrong and stupid about things. And, you know, there's this issue that can happen. I mean, this thing can cut both ways when you think about it. That's all I have to say about that.